Welcome back to the Crowd Chatter Podcast. I'm Jacob, that's Calvin, and we've got some conversation for you today. Just a couple minutes ago, the college football playoff Week 11 rankings came out, and oh man, there's some stuff to talk about. Calvin is going to have some fun tonight. He is going to get a little bit of venting out. It shouldn't be. It should be Michigan State above Michigan. We'll just start with the obvious thing, the obvious talking point. Michigan State should very much be above Michigan. I was like, deep down in my back of my head, I'm like, I know this committee. They're going to put Michigan over Michigan State. I know this committee. I kept telling myself, I'm like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. But in the back of my head, I'm like, they're so going to do it. They're so going to do it. And I don't know if it's just because they like creating headlines. I don't know if, like, ESPN pays them to do it so they can create headlines.
Probably what it is. No one in their right put State.
No. No, I remember in 2014, they literally, or 2013, one of these years, they literally made up a measurement just to keep, they made up a new category of statistics to make up for, or to excusably to kick Florida State out or something, or kick TCU out. I don't remember, but
it was TCU.
It was TCU. Oh man, that TCU scam. Oh, poor TCU. Anyway, let's break it down. So the top four went as everybody expected. Georgia and Alabama did not move, and then Oregon and Ohio State both slotted up one. The big conversation was, would Michigan State be above Cincinnati or behind Cincinnati? And we were all pretty sure that Michigan was going to break their fall. Obviously, that did not happen. Cincinnati stayed above both of them, which I'm okay with that. I would have been okay with Michigan State either ahead or behind Cincinnati. I mean, Cincinnati's not looked great, but they are undefeated. And they beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame, which is a huge win. So I would have been okay with Michigan State being above or behind Cincinnati. What I am not okay with is them being behind Michigan. That makes zero sense to me. Because as we were talking about before we got on the podcast, while I was making this bar, it's literally the exact same situation with Oregon, Ohio State. Oregon has a worse loss, which Michigan State has a worse loss than Michigan. Because obviously Michigan lost to Michigan State. Ohio State has looked better than Oregon. And Michigan State and Michigan, you can debate all you want, but Michigan State beat them head to head. And then Oregon beat them and then Oregon beat Ohio State head to head. But for some reason, Oregon, who has not looked like the more complete team, has a worse loss, is still above Ohio State because of the head to head. But then they come down to Michigan and Michigan State and say the head to head does not matter, which makes no sense. It makes no sense. Just like the committee makes no sense ever. They never make sense. I wondered what kind of things they'd be smoking tonight, and oh man, they were doing some stuff in that room. Jeez Louise.
And the thing is, like, Cincinnati, like Oklahoma, I guess you can make the argument that they should be 6, because they're undefeated, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cincinnati has the win against Notre Dame, but, like, they've played just random teams. And, like, their other big wins against Indiana.
Which sucks for them. Sucks for them that Indiana's bad. Because they tried to have that. Sucks for them. But, I'm okay with them being at number 5. It's more the Michigan State thing that it's just makes no sense. That just makes no sense. It's not like it really matters. If anything, it'll all equal itself out by the end of the year. If we both lose to Ohio State. If we both lose to Ohio State, it doesn't matter.
Penn State, too. Just because they can't win big games under Harbaugh.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think they could, but who knows? We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to think
Their only win is the underdog. They should have not been the underdog.
They should not have been an underdog against Wisconsin. No, not at all.
That's so stupid that they were the underdog in that game.
Yeah, no, not at all. But we'll continue going down. Notre Dame and then Oklahoma State jumping up makes sense. A&M jumping up after the win against Auburn. Wake Forest falling down to 12. Baylor slipping down one spot to 13, which, again, you knew they'd have the soft landing because they have the head-to-head win over BYU. Actually, no, you should break BYU over Baylor by the committee's logic.
Yeah, exactly.
Ole Miss
should be above both of them because...
honestly, I think Ole Miss should be above Baylor and BYU, just legit.
Stronger schedule.
They have better wins and better losses than them, but Once you get to like the 13 to 15 range, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah.
And then NC State moving up to 16 after taking care of business makes sense. Auburn falling down from 13 to 17 makes sense. Wisconsin jumping back up. Purdue jumping up pretty high to 19. Though honestly, as I look back at it in retrospective, it's not too crazy because I mean the other 6-3 teams that are in here are Utah and Arkansas, which you can argue Purdue's wins are better than both of those combined. And then they have the head-to-head over Iowa. And they have the head-to-head over Iowa. So, of course, head-to-head matters literally everywhere else.
Exactly.
Everywhere else. And then rounding out the top 25.
For Michigan State, it doesn't, but that's...
Rounding out the top 25, you've got Pitt, San Diego State, UTSA. I thought they were gonna shank UTSA, but I'm so happy that they're in at 9-0. I mean, they're 9-0. They deserve to at least be in the honorary 21 through 25 spot, even if they're UTSA.
They would be higher because they're 9-0. Like they like no one.
But it's like Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina went undefeated last year, but they didn't really start climbing in the rankings till the last couple of weeks because nobody knew what to make of them. And the rest of the Conference USA is all right. And then Utah after playing really well in Arkansas, which Penn State's still not in the rankings, which shocks me. I mean, at 6-3, I mean, you also got to think, I know this is going head-to-head and different matchups for different teams. Penn State beat a team that beat the crap out of Arkansas. I'm just saying. I still think Penn State should be in the rankings above Utah and Arkansas. I'm shocked that they didn't do that because you know how the committee loves to artificially, like, make teams like that where they'll throw in a team at, like, the lower 25s that maybe shouldn't be in there just because they have a matchup against that other team coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what they like to do. I'm shocked they didn't put Penn State in the top 25 as they're welcoming Michigan to town, but...
Michigan, when they lose next week to Penn State, I bet still going to be ranked in Michigan State based off of...
Oh my gosh. There's no way. There's no way.
They're going to lose, and then they're just going to be like, well, State's probably going to lose, so that's why we have them ranked lower than...
Yeah, man. If they lose to Penn State and they're still ranked in the top 10, I'm going to just look at them and be like... And I hate it, too. I hate it. I hate being... Trust me. I hate being overranked. Michigan plays terrible when they're overranked. They play their best football when they're not ranked, and nobody cares about them. That's when they play their best football. And then as soon as they start getting overrated and overranked, it gets to their heads. It happens every single year. I hate being overranked. Trust me, I hate this more than anybody. I do not like being at number 6 above Michigan State.
You don't hate this more than anybody. I hate this.
You do hate this more. You do hate this more. I feel bad for you because it's definitely wrong, but I also can't help but laugh because that's just I really hope that this can be another like evidence piece as to why the committee needs to be abolished because they're absolutely horrible at their jobs.
I think that they should just expand the playoffs to 8 teams. That's my personal.
I think either 8 or 6. I'd be fine with even 6.
The problem with 6 is it's uneven.
You get your buys and all that.
I don't think buys are absolutely necessary. I think that you're just.
I don't like 12 though. Don't go to 12.
Don't go to 12. That's too much.
12 is too much.
8 is literally the perfect.
4 is good, but the only thing about 4 is it ends up being the same teams. So we want to see some extra teams. Which hey, at this point,
I hate to say it, but Cincinnati's the playoffs. They're gonna find a way to make them not the playoffs because Cincinnati, but they're getting their butt whooped by.
They're not playing well. Like I said, for Cincinnati to be in the playoffs, they have to win at Notre Dame, which they did. They have to win at Indiana, which they did. But then they have to blow out the rest of their schedule, which they started doing. And they didn't. And then it sucks for them because SMU just lost 2 straight games, and that was one of their big games that they had. So now SMU looks worse, and the whole American is a total as bad. So I was surprised to see Cincinnati even move up. I thought they'd just move down. Or Michigan State would just stay above them.
They're not going to rank Michigan over Cincinnati.
I don't know. They might. They might.
After Michigan loses to Penn State, maybe they'll move up.
I'm saying this week. Who knows? I'm shocked they didn't at this rate. At this point, just rate Michigan number 1 because apparently they're the most complete team in college football. I mean, heck.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on. Georgia sucks. They're frauds. They didn't cover their 40.5 point line. They couldn't cover 40 points.
Georgia's offense scores less than Michigan needs to go to number 1.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. No, they definitely should not. But I mean, I'm not too surprised by like the latter half of this ranking. Besides Penn State being not in there, but the top 7, I don't want to stir up the pot. Actually, I kind of do. I do agree. I think ESPN's in on this. I think ESPN's in on this. I'm not gonna lie to you. They want headlines. They want controversy. Because you notice every single time. I didn't watch the first rankings reveal, so maybe they've expanded it to they show the top 7 teams now. But every year, it's been like the top 6 teams that they show. They only show the top 6 teams. And then tonight, coincidentally, the night where 6 and 7 are the controversial ones. Those are the last 2 they show. So I'm not implying anything. I'm not going to say anything, but I am. Seems a little convenient to me. I'm not going to lie to you. It seems a little convenient.
It's all a money game.
It is. It is. That's what it is. I swear. I'm telling you, that's what it is. Oh man, but jeez Louise.
Oh my gosh, it's brutal.
That's just. I mean, this is just what we've been for the past 20 minutes. We've just been speechlessly staring at the number 6 and 7. Like, we literally, I saw Michigan come up, and I'm like, no, they did it. Oh my god. Calvin just went.
Almost threw my glass at the wall.
I mean, it doesn't really matter because it'll play itself out, but that's just like the ultimate level of disrespect. Jeez Louise.
It goes against everything that they've talked about for the past 5 years, like the head-to-head thing.
I know, it's just.
Oh wait, except for this game.
Except for this team, because why not? And Oklahoma being at number 8 still hurts. Like, I'm sorry, I know Oklahoma hasn't looked great, but they're still undefeated.
Power 5 team.
And the Big 12 is not as much of a joke as the ACC is, at least. So,
yeah,
the ACC is not as much of a joke. I know Oklahoma was down 10-0 to half against Kansas. Yeah, Wake Forest was ranked lower. I still think Oklahoma should be higher, though. But anyway, I mean, that's it for our initial reactions.
Higher than who? Like, who are you gonna rank them above? State, who beat Michigan? Like, maybe rank them above Michigan, but then rank them above State. Like, it's just.
I think they should have been ranked above Michigan and Cincinnati to begin with. I think they should have been ranked number 5. Or number 6, sorry, number 6, sorry, because Ohio State was number 5. I think they should have been number 6, and then I think they should be number 5 right now. I think it should be, well, okay, if I was doing it, it would be probably Oklahoma 5, Michigan State or Cincinnati 6 and 7, take your pick. I don't really care. And then Michigan 8. That's what I think it should have been.
If I were doing it, I would put State at 1.
Okay, that's a little biased. 25. That's a little biased.
I know that.
Hold on a second. I was about to say, you think Michigan State... I don't think... There are a couple teams, like, I think any...
That secondary is...
I think anyone in that top 4 could probably beat Georgia, but I still think Georgia's better than every team, like, by a decent margin. But I think any of those teams could beat them.
I think that is going to be... I think Bama's going to lose to Georgia in the SEC championship, move down to 4, and then beat Georgia in the playoffs. That's my...
That would be... Oh, man, if Georgia... Oh, poor Georgia if that happened. Poor Georgia. No. The Braves broke the curse. The Braves broke the curse. That's all we're saying.
The Braves ignored the curse.
They ignored the curse. They're just like, what curse? What curse? Oh, yeah, also...
No, they got to get out of jail free.
I heard something. I have to check the exact years, but it was like this year when the Braves won. I heard this on a podcast. Auburn's quarterback was Bo Nix. The last time the Braves won the World Series, Auburn's quarterback was Bo Nix's dad. And the last time after that the Braves won the World Series, Auburn's quarterback was Bo Nix's grandpa. So literally, when the Braves win, there's a Nix at the quarterback spot, so all Braves fans are like, all right, Bo, go meet a girl, go have kids, quickly. Go have kids, please, and have them play at Auburn.
And have multiple of them.
Yes, just multiple year stretches of just the Braves.
Exactly.
Oh, man. Well, that's it for the reactions. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, because there's a lot to talk about. But I think we covered the majority of it. So I think we covered the majority of it. So these are BS. We'll just hopefully this exposes the committee. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching and have a great rest of your nights. Peace.